Hi, I'm Simon from Qeek, and I'm here to show you how to get started with exploratory testing. Starting exploratory testing is easy. You have a thought about how you might start testing your application. Capture that as a scenario and off you go. That's your starting point where you can start exploring your product and learning more about what your product might do for your customers. So you may discover some problems that you need to share with your team. It's dead simple. Just chuck it in and it's there for everyone to see. Perhaps they're not problems, but maybe you have an idea or an opinion about something. Again, you can use Qeek to capture that thought or point of discussion and just share it with the rest of your team. It really is about anchoring your team around your product. At any point in time, you can just have a look at all of your learnings. Say your team wants to know how your testing is going. It doesn't care about stats. There's no pass or fail in Qeek. It really is about what you've discovered and what you've learned about your product. It's not there to get in the way like maybe some other test tools do. I don't have to worry about formatting or creating new columns or filling out lots of fields. This really is about testing and capturing what it is you discover as you test. As a tester myself, I grew very frustrated with test tools that would obsess over pass and fail rates. I'd often think about what value they'd bring to the conversation. So we built Qeek in a way that focuses not on pass and fail. Instead, it focuses on conversation. You can find a problem and share that problem, and you can have a thought and an opinion on your product, and you can share that thought in a simple way. I believe testing is about testing, not getting stuck in your tool. That's why we've built Qeek. Qeek is a real-time, cloud-based, collaborative test management tool. Using Qeek helps you explore your product on multiple devices. You may find some problems on some devices and you may not on others, and it's easy for you to capture the devices that you found problems on and those that you haven't. That way you can get a better handle on the experience that your users are likely to have based on the devices they use. In some situations, you may not have all the devices to test on. Another person in your team may be using those devices, or maybe you don't have an emulator available, or you just don't want to use one because you don't trust it. With Qeek, it's very straightforward to let others know that you won't be testing on that device. I think this is important when you're assessing risk, is to make it really transparent what it is you've tested and perhaps infer what it is you haven't tested. I think the two are just as important. Now imagine that someone in your team has read one of those problems. That person fixes the problem and then lets you know, hey, that one's ready for retest. It's very easy for you then to retest that scenario. Recycling a session doesn't keep your previous learnings. Your previous learnings exist on the last session, so it sort of draws a line in the sand about that moment in time that you had exploring your product. So you have a record of your test at that point in time. And while exploratory test sessions are great by yourself, it can get even more exciting when you go multiplayer. Qeek supports multiple users on the same session at once. What this allows for is a real sense of online multiplayer, something you may get from online gaming, where you have a sense of activity and excitement from other people who are also exploring your product at the same time. And what we've noticed is it inspires you as a tester to try out other scenarios as you see other scenarios crop up on a session. And it's so quick and easy to share those learnings with others. They're just on the same session as you. They can jump onto the summary of all learnings and see exactly what it is you found. You can also see when someone's darting around the session and chase them if you want. If you just want to watch what they're up to, then you can do that, or they can watch what you're up to. So perhaps there's an opportunity for some mob testing using Qeek, where maybe a load of testers could jump on a session at once, add their ideas as someone else is actually doing the testing. So that's Qeek. Use it to anchor your team around your product. Really focus on exploring your product, defend the value of your product, and get everyone in your team to contribute to the product you're building, to share the things that they discover as they test, share those problems, create those discussion points, let others know what it is you've tested and how you've tested. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions whatsoever, please just email me, simon@qeek.co. And if you're showing this to a teammate or someone else who hasn't got access to Qeek, it's very simple for you to get access right now. Just hop over to qeek.co and sign up for early access. And I'd be absolutely delighted to get you set up. Enjoy the rest of your day.